Hi boys and girls, welcome to math. This week in math we're talking about balance, and we're going to be working with our pan balance, which we talked about yesterday and we worked with yesterday. And I'm going to pull this camera down just to show you. This is it, and hopefully you have it at home. Hopefully your parents were able to pick it up. If not, that's okay, you can still follow along by watching. And remember, yesterday we put some things in the balance, and we always want to start by making sure that we move this little slider on one side so that the little arrow, as we saw in the lesson yesterday, is pointing right to that line, so it's perfectly balanced to begin with. And then we put some things in each side, and we talked about how when one side ends up lower than the other, so I put a glue stick on that side, and then I put a remote control on this side is lower, so that means that this is heavier. This remote control is heavier than the glue stick. And then this side is higher, the glue stick, so it means it's lighter than the remote control. And we did a few experiments along those lines, and we talked about that. So today we're going to continue talking about that, and I'm going to keep the camera just pointed down here, and I have a few things that we're going to balance out, okay? And we're going to see which is higher and lower, and I'm going to show you what I have. I have a couple masks here. I have two masks. I have some small pieces of paper. I have a couple dominoes right here. Then I have the glue stick that I just used, and then I also have a string here, not a string, but a collection of counting cubes, and this came with the pan balance in the box that you got, hopefully. And these things can be pulled apart, and we're going to work with these at the end. And then there's a second video on this lesson that you'll see where we go over our stepping stones activity. So now let's go ahead and work with this. First of all, I'm going to put on this side, I'm going to put one domino. Let me make sure it's totally balanced out here. Move this a little bit. And sometimes you have to move that slider a little bit to where it's not in the middle to make sure that this is properly balanced. Just a little bit more. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Because we want to start by making sure it's completely accurate. All right, so I'm going to put one domino and the other, okay. Now obviously this side is going to be lower now because there's nothing on this side. So these two dominoes are heavier than the air, right? So because there's nothing over here. But when I start adding things, we should get closer to where these are balanced, where they're the same. And I can see that they're balanced when that little arrow on my side is pointing and back to where the line is, okay? So when those things line up, that's when we know that it's balanced. And we can see that these two things are not, one's not lower than the other, but they're really level. They're straight, just like that, okay? So now I have two dominoes. And do you think that if I put two masks, they're going to be this equal weight as the dominoes? Or do you think the dominoes are still going to be heavier? I think the dominoes are going to be heavier, but let's try. Let me put the two masks in. Oh wow, there's some weight. But still, if I look, I see that the dominoes, and I can see on this little line here, the dominoes are still a little bit heavier. It's still going down on this side a little bit. Okay, so I need to add something, but I don't want to add a lot, because I bet you anything, if I add this glue stick, this is going to be heavy enough to make these, this side with these masks heavier than this. And I'm trying to get it level. I'm trying to get it even to where that little arrow is lined up right with that line. Okay, so I'm going to put it just to show you. I bet you this is going to make it. Yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. This is definitely heavier than that side. So I need to pull this out. Okay, and it's going to kind of arrange itself. So this side is a little bit heavier and this is lighter. So I'm going to add something really, really lightweight just to gradually add some weight to this side. I'm going to add a little piece of paper. Boy, that's light, isn't it? A little piece of paper. I'm going to add several. Ooh, we're getting closer. This side is going down. Add another one. That's 3 pieces of paper. Ooh, almost there. I think one more will do it. Let's see. Okay, ooh, now this side is slightly lower. I can see on the line is now going, it's not quite straight, so it shows that this side is a little bit heavier than this side. So let me take this out. I bet you anything. Okay, ooh. You know what? That actually was perfect right there. So with the two face masks and 3 pieces of paper, it's now level with the 2 dominoes. All right, so I'm going to take these out and get it back to level. Okay, now it's balanced out. This side is equal to this side. It's straight. Okay, so now I'm going to add something kind of interesting. I'm going to add some candy, and I'm going to see how I can achieve balance with candy. Okay, Airheads and Smarties. Do you like these candies? Hopefully so. Everybody likes these candies. So first, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think? Is the Smarties heavier than the Airheads, or the Airheads heavier than the Smarties? Okay. I'm feeling when I do this, and I feel like the Smarties are a little bit heavier than the Airheads. But let's see. Okay, got a level right there. Just kind of move that over a little bit. Sometimes you have to kind of calibrate this and make sure it's totally level. Let me go back over here. Okay, perfect. Perfectly level. And I'm going to put this on this side. Okay, and then I'll put this on this side. Oh, I was wrong. This is a little bit heavier. Sometimes they're really close and it's hard to tell. But this side's a little bit heavier, the Airheads, than the Smarties. Now the question is, how many more Smarties do I need to add to get it to be level with this side? Can I get it totally level? Oh, now this side, the Smarties are too heavy. So I'd really probably have to take this and make it half to make it level. Let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up and add one Smartie at a time. What do you think? That's probably a good idea, because I got a lot of little pieces in here, and that's a good way I can break this up and go ahead and make it level. I'm going to add one, a little bit better, two, not quite there, three, all right, four, oh, still not there, five, no, six, ooh, getting closer, seven, almost, eight, oh, nine, I think if I have one more, 10, and that's it. That's level. Now they're totally level. So 1 Smarties and 10, and I still have 5 in the package. 1 and 10 pieces is equal to 1 Airheads. All right. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to take these off, and we're going to work with our counting cubes, okay? And we're going to see how we can make balance with those. Let me just remove these out. Remember, with these balances, you can take this off if you need to add something in there that's a little bigger. But usually with what I'm doing, I'm able to go ahead and just use it like that. Okay, so that's level right there. So now we have our counting cubes. So we have 10 pieces on here, and I'm going to take off a few. Now the question is this, boys and girls. Let me add, here's the question. If I add 4 to one side, how many will I have to add to the other side to make it balanced? Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have 4 here. Okay, there you go. And I didn't really have to connect them, but I just like to connect them to keep them in one piece. How many am I going to have to add over here? How many more am I going to have to add on this side to make it equal to 4? Could I add 3? Would that make it equal? Could I add 5? I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to add the equal amount, which will make balance. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, when I do that, it balances out. 4 and 4. It's equal, right? Very good. Now, let's think of it this way. What if I add 5 to one side? Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put it on this orange side. And if I have 3 here to this side, is that equal? No. 5 is more than 3. So that's why this is heavier and it's going down because it's heavier. And that's why this is up because it's lighter. How many more will I need to add to make it equal to 5 if I have 3 here? How many more do I have to put in there? 1 more? What would that be? That will be 3, and then 1 more is 4. Is 4 equal to 5? No, it's not, is it? It's because watch, if I put 4, it helps, but it's not quite there. It's still heavier on this side. 1, 2, 3, and then how many more? How about 2 more? So let's show me 3 with your fingers. Add 2 more. 1, 2 more makes how many? 5. And that should do it. And it does. 5 is equal to 3 and 2 more. Let's do 1 more. Take all these out. Okay. So now I'm gonna go with the lower number. I'm gonna go with 3. 3 on this side. And it doesn't matter whether they're connected or apart. It'll still weigh the same. Now, obviously, this is lower now because there's nothing over here. If I have 1 cube, is this going to balance it out to that? No, of course not. This is heavier than that. So, boys and girls, how many more do I need to add? If If I have 1, how many more do I need to add to get to the same balance, the same weight as this, so they balance out? How about 1 more? If I have 1 and I add 1 more, how many is that going to be? 1 more makes 2. Is 2 equal to 3? No, it's not. Not quite there. So it's still a little bit heavier. How about if I add 1 more to that? Oh my goodness, now it's 3 and 3, and that's balanced. Perfect. So 3, if you have 3, and then on the other side you have 1, you need to add 2 more to make it equal on each side. All right, so boys and girls, that's going to help us with our addition and our subtraction coming up very soon. Boys and girls, thank you for joining me today for math, and there's a video down below